we're going to move now into our spontaneous conversation.
Awesome.
Yes. My son John was our first conversation on our Grace and Fire, and so I'm always honoring this. I never like to leave it out. So I would love to have you start. Well, let's start with your platform, suicide awareness. Let's have a conversation about that, because that is your platform, and that has been something that's dear to your heart. It's something that has been affecting a lot of people, and let's have a conversation about that. And if it moves into anywhere else, we're okay with that too. It can go anywhere.
Well, that's perfect, because there were some things, I wanted to share. I feel very strongly that we are all responsible for our own emotional health. And if we're having family issues, then we need to look at our emotional health and how we are handling them and get emotionally healthy so our whole family can be healthy. And that's what I try to start with the wolf pack, but I just want parents to realize that if there's things struggling in the home, fix yourself, work on yourself, and your children will just fall right in line with the healing process. And so, I feel like starting Wolfpack, and I actually wrote a movie. You can see it on my YouTube channel, Robin Towle, but it's a short film, and it's on suicide, and it's basically a culmination of all my children's stories, not just my child who was struggling, but they all struggled. We all struggle. And I put them together into one story, and it was super healing. So getting involved in, and finding a way to release the pain is so important in our healing journey. And I think filming that movie was key for me to be able to let some of that pain go. And I even acted in it. And so in the end, you can see real pain that I was able to, share with, so I can relate to other moms. And I think it's so nice that I had that experience, because now when I meet parents who are afraid for their child, I can say there's hope. There is hope for things to get better. And when you're so afraid, you need someone to tell you it's going to be okay, because that fear just makes it worse.
Yeah, true. It's beautiful. And I love how you shared about the adults and the leaders of our world. We need to get healthy. We need to find ways to be healthy ourselves, because we're the ones that are conditioning and programming these children. And then if we're healthy as adults and leaders of the world, that is going to affect the youth so powerfully. And they find so many things, like you said, about the emotions. So much of sickness these days they've been studying is repressed emotions. And so if we can find ways to heal those emotional, and we all get emotional wounds. No, I don't think any human being can, even if you're grown up in the most perfect family. They've even had studies now with even small birth traumas and large birth traumas affecting suicide and mental health. Just a minimal birth trauma, which could affect anyone, any child at any economic level, the best family, the most loving family in the world. If a trauma happened at birth, their child can struggle with some of these things, with the mental illness, addiction, and suicide.
Well, emotional health is ongoing. I'll never be perfectly emotionally healthy, but I will never give up trying to be emotionally healthy. And as we are working on ourselves, we're modeling that for our children, so that, because they're going to face things that we had nothing to do with, that we had no control over, even as much as we want to help them. And so as we're getting emotionally healthy, we're modeling to them how important it is to be emotionally healthy.
That's so true, Robin. And I think just the fact that an adult and a parent or a leader of the community who is ongoingly working on their emotional health, and knowing that we never arrive at a perfect emotional health, like I'm perfect, we're always evolving as humans and bettering ourselves. That in itself is emotional health.
I know. I always, my little joke when I'm speaking in engagements is I say, if someone doesn't have mental health issues, I think that qualifies you for mental health issues.
Yeah.
Because how can you even get through this world and the struggles that we all go through as human beings without having without it touching us emotional? And so I just really want to change the stigma of emotional health, because we're all human beings. We are all experiencing this earth, and it's how we learn to cope with it, and how we learn to, have our strategies of dealing with it.
Yeah, and that just brings us back to circling around to the community things and the support systems like your Wolf Pack and different things that we have. We have One World Community, we have Resource Center at John's Place, and keeping all the different things in the community that are supporting the youth and people of all ages, where we can get this emotional support, mental support, financial support, economic support. We're all humans. We're coming together to help each other out and creating those systems within our local communities to help the people that are in need for ongoing support.
Right. And I think this is the perfect time with what we're going through now. I think a lot of people believe that what has happened with COVID-19 is an awakening, is a time for our earth to realize that there is change. It's our God is telling us that it's time to cleanse the things that were unhealthy and time to make a better world.
I truly believe that, Robin. It's a reset. Let's take that reset. We're all inside. We're taking some yin time, home, inside, yin. Let's go in and let's slow down a little bit, stop, and take some time to really look at the planet, some of our systems, some of the ways we've been doing things in the past, and make a kind of almost an affirmation and a commitment as a humanity to do things differently to make a better world for everybody and our children and our children's children, so that we can all live as a humanity and continue to evolve and have a happier and more peaceful world.
Yes. Well, like I was telling you before we started this interview, I took some quiet time and I tried to connect with John, your son, and let him know that I am here to hear what he wants me to say. And the message that I received is slow down and listen. And I think we're all going to so hard, and it is a reset and time for us to listen and to be more in tune. And we have angels on the other side, like John is your angel, who's helping us and who are guiding us and telling us how to achieve what needs to be done.
That's beautiful, Robin. I love that. The slow down and listen. Kind of a message for all of us to slow down and listen as a humanity. Listen as a humanity. How can we create things better, more sustainable, more positive, for a peaceful, thriving, and free world for all? How can we do that? And we have to go in, we have to slow down, we have to listen.
I think when we slow down, we're able to share love. And that's the key. With my son struggles, the thing that I found most was just love him. That was my answer when I was struggling, and I was like, what do I do? How do I help him? And the answer that I got was just love him. And I've been able to share that message with so many moms, and I have gotten such great feedback. If you have a child who's struggling, just love them. Just love them. That's what they need. They don't need you running them around, talking them to death. They need your hugs, your love, your acceptance. They just need to be loved.
That's our motto at John's Place. Actually, that was his motto, just love. I have a license plate. It's a license plate he gave me the last Christmas before he passed, and it says, just love, life's a dream. That was it, just love, just love, just love. That was John, just love. And so that unconditional love that we can give to these youth, our children,
each other,
ourselves,
yes,
our own hearts, that unconditional love is by far the most powerful thing we could give to humanity. If we could all focus on that as our categorical imperative.
Yeah, well, our God gave us grace and has granted us grace, and who are we to not grant grace to other people, and especially to ourselves? But we're all just trying to do the best we can do. We fall short every day. We make mistakes, but grace is what it's all about.
perfect. And I'd like to end at that note. Thank you so much, Robin
Thank you for having me.
Wiggins Towle, Mrs. International 2019. Thank you so much for being here on the Grace on Fire show. You have been an incredible, incredible honor to have amazing soul in this planet. Wish there was a million more like you. Thank you so much for being here.
There are more than a million more.
Yes.
We just all need to tap into it.
And we need to come together because it's true. There are so many great souls that are out there for the good of humanity. And it's about coming together under the premises of love.
Love.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being on Grace on Fire.
Thank you for having me. I just love you.
Just love you, Robin. Yes. Keep doing your great work. And we'll be doing things together.
I was going to say, I'm excited to be doing something with you.
She's going to be joining us. She has been coming. Robin, I'll say, she's been coming to our One World homeless dinners. Her and her family. She brings her children. And they've been helping and serving for several years, and we're excited to do more with One World together, and with our nonprofit Center for Awakening, our youth outreach, our global youth outreach, because we have a very common passion in our heart to bring, especially to the youth. The youth really are the leaders, the future leaders of the world. And that's our excitement right now, to really help. We can help them. We can help the world. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.